She was frozen in shock by the scene before her. Seeing her best friend violently drugged by a stranger, she was instantly terrified, not daring to make a single sound. Yet the bald man made no further move. So she came up with a risky plan, carefully gripping the handle, ready to jump from the car. But the moment she moved, something terrible happened. The bald man stared at her coldly, quickly putting on a mask. Before Casey could react, he lunged at her. When they woke up again, they were locked in a small room. The psycho driver who kidnapped them walked in carrying a chair. He had severe OCD, using a handkerchief to wipe the chair before sitting down. Then he examined them with a sharp gaze. Ruth was wearing fishnet stockings, afraid she was showing too much. But it had the opposite effect. "I choose you first." Ruth struggled desperately, but was quickly carried out. The two girls thought Ruth had been killed. But the next second, the bald man pushed Ruth back in. He was shaking his hands in disgust and retching in revulsion. Turns out, Ruth was so terrified, she actually wet herself. This move hit the germaphobe's trigger point directly. But this gave the other two a life-saving idea. They quickly wet their pants too. But the bald man, smelling the odor, sent them to the bathroom and yelled at them not to relieve themselves anywhere again. Just then, the sound of high heels came from outside. The three rushed to peek through the door crack and saw a woman pacing back and forth outside. They immediately cried out for help excitedly. The girls thought rescue had finally arrived. But when the door opened, they all looked stunned. It was still the bald man who came in, just dressed in women's clothing. An ominous feeling washed over them. By evening, the bald man changed clothes again, sitting at the door like an idiot. "My name is Hedwig, I'm 9 years old." Casey finally understood. This wasn't role-playing, but split personality disorder. The bald man had 23 different personalities. This child personality had a dumb look in his eyes. So Casey quickly tried to trick him, hoping he'd help all three escape. But the boy seemed afraid of the bald man and refused them. Driven by fear, the three quickly banged on the walls, looking for a weak spot to dig through and escape. To their surprise, the ceiling made a hollow sound. Elizabeth used a high heel to smash upward, and sure enough, broke open a hole. There was a ventilation shaft above. Just then, the little boy returned. Hearing the banging, he immediately pushed the door. The other two quickly held the door shut, while Elizabeth sped up, removing the metal grate, climbing up with all her strength. Suddenly it went quiet outside. The two thought the little boy had left. But the next second, the door was pushed open with tremendous force. Turns out, the little boy had switched personalities, back to the germophobic kidnapper. But fortunately, Elizabeth had already escaped successfully.